Well, we're back as promised, and this is part 2. If you missed the first part of this, where we've been painting inside the sink, you can see that right here on our timeline. Comment here if you are new to our page. We want to share a great gift with you and give you a free sample of all-in-one paint. And we're going to show you exactly what you can do with our paint products. And one is painting a sink, just like we did right here. This is a cultured marble sink, and it goes right down into the basin, and we've also painted that. But now we're going to show you how they're going to use our great tool here called the faux pas. And faux pas doesn't mean mistake like you think it means. It actually means how to create a faux marble veining look. And I'm going to show you how easily we're going to do that. First thing we're going to do is show you what we're using. We're using our color cobblestone, but we're going to do something a little different to that. We have a tintable antiquing gel. And what that means is this gel, we have this in all colors. If you saw us do our brick pattern just earlier, we used our colors there, but we have one that you can tint with our paint products. And we're going to tint this one simply because we want it to be translucent. I also want it to stay wet enough that I can show you how we're going to kind of smudge it just a little bit. So here's what we're going to do. The tintable antiquing, I'm going to put 2 spoons of this, and I'm just using this just
One spoon of that.
Oh, sorry, just as a measuring device here. I'm going to use 1, she says. Now, I can do that too if I want. I can put 2 in there, or I can put 3.
You can.
You can do anything I want.
That's
It's my stuff. But no, I'm trying to keep a formulation here.
We want it to be good and true to the color. So.
2 to 1 is what we're doing. 2 to 1. 2 of the gray cobblestone color. And we're only doing that simply because when we tried it just with the paint, it gave a very true mark. But on this Carrara marble that we're trying to create, we want something very soft and subtle. And I'll show you how that works. So just using my spoon to mix this up, I'm going to roll this onto my little tool here with my roller. And I have that handy here too. Set all this stuff off, and I just want to show you how you're going to get started using this tool. I'm going to make some decisions here first off, and we're in a very small bathroom, and just if you're just catching us live here, we did 2 coats on this of our color Coliseum over this. So this is kind of a white, but it looks just a tinge gray undertone to it. So I'm kind of in a slump just so I can speak to you, but I'm going to make a decision that I'm going to make a vein to make this feel real. The vein of the marble, I'm going to decide is going to kind of run right through the body of this sink. Then I'm going to make some little small tributaries off of this, like this was all from one big stone. So you have to kind of make those decisions, and here's how you're going to do it. Normally you just put this right on your hand, and I may do that too, but I'm going to have to quickly get the end of this sink, so I may just use it loosely here. I'm going to roll on that gray mixture that I just did there. And I'm just going to start pressing into my design right here. I'm going to make the first one right there. So that's going to look very heavy. But don't give up, because we're going to just keep going and keep on creating here. I'm going to put a lot right in the center of this, because I want to run down in this sink and make it look like the stone goes cracked lines right into that sink. Just keep rolling, even if it's looking very unnatural, and you can turn it. It doesn't necessarily all have to run the same way. This is going to look a lot different in just a minute. So we're creating this overall pattern, and then we're going to go back and soften that and lessen it, basically, make it look a lot less. We're going to feather it out in just a minute too. So we're making the lines. If you have questions, ask them. Melissa's here to answer them.
Yep, and I'm watching for your questions here. And you guys, we are shooting this horizontal, so you can turn your phones horizontal and you'll be able to see the pattern a lot better.
Sure.
Than you can if you're watching this with your phone vertical.
All right, so that looks pretty busy at this point. I'm keeping my little brush here. So I'm going to decide I'm going to run up on the backsplash here just so it's more believable. If you can't make a mark, make sure to kind of put your paint back on there. Just keep adding it. You can also just go down the center if you'd like, if you want to get more or less a simple, smaller area. You can wipe it off of the other sides if you need to, or just quit inking them up basically. I want to run that right up on the back too. Just make it look like this backsplash is all one piece.
So I think a great tip is to print out or pull up on your phone a picture of a Carrara marble or whatever the stone is that you're trying to mimic. If it's granite or marble or soapstone or whatever it is that you're trying to create, if you'll pull that up on your phone or you'll print it out, you can kind of follow along. And I think it's good to have a reference point.
Absolutely.
Would you agree?
All right, so I'm not going to go crazy here because I want this to look like Carrara marble.
Which doesn't have a heavy pattern. So
it does not. So I'm just going to do that. And I'm going to
chill
stop.
there.
That's all I need to do. Just a little. Now, something else I want to do. Take my artist brush because I can't get in some of this really well. And do this. Just come in here and tap just some areas that didn't get any on them. Just so I can kind of bring that pattern right on up that side wall. So it's not totally without anything happening in it. You don't have to get too crafty there. Just do something and continue up in that.
You know what you didn't grab?
Turn around. What's that?
Your jaw roller.
I know I have it right here.
Sorry.
In my hand. Oh, sorry. I do not.
You're going to have to open that door and grab it.
Okay. Where is it at?
Right outside that door. In that
Hold
box.
on just a minute. Now, you're so right. Let me grab the other one. All right. So now, while everything is still flexible and movable, we're going to go in here and we're going to roll through this, and that's going to give me just a tiny bit of flaring out of this design.
I want to soften this look.
Can you see that happening already? I don't know if you can see it or not, but I can see it softening it.
This is why we gave you 2 rollers in your Carrara marble kit so that you guys can do this. So you need one. You've used one to put the paint on your faux pas, so it's got paint on it. So now you need a second one that's clean to kind of soften the pattern here on your marble. This is what gives it a great realistic look.
You don't have to do it, but I think it helped it. She thinks it helps it.
It definitely helps
I think it does. It just kind of blends it, blurs it just enough. And that's what that antiquing is doing also.
That's why we use the Tinable Antiquing gel, because we want the cool tone of the cobblestone. You can certainly use weathered wood and get that warm grayish tone, but the cobblestone is more authentic to Carrara marble, I think.
It is. All right, so now if we're at that level, you could stop there if you want. But next we're going to go in. Can I get you to hand me that down below? So now we're going to put over that using our brush. And I also need a rag, and you got that. All right, now we're going to go into our white antiquing. This is our whitewash antiquing gel. This is where it really starts to take on the real look of actual stone, and that's putting this over it. You're going to put it on, work in a small area, and just kind of put it on and softly remove it. Just kind of softly finesse it around there, and see how that just sits that in there. You can stipple with your rag if you want, just to kind of give that real stone look to it. Just keep on going all the way around the top.
So I always say, think of the whitewash antiquing gel as a filter.
Yep, it's very much a filter. It's filtering it down. See, look at the difference. It's just toning and softening, toning. And we're going to do one more further step to this, so don't give up if you think you got something here that is too intense. We're going to go back over that. We're going to put some white back in here to pop it up and lighten it just a little bit more too. Let's get the areas that have the antiquing on them first. Bring those down a notch. How many people do you have on with you?
We have about 450.
All right, hi guys. What do y'all do on a Friday night? Here's what we do: hang out in the bathroom together.
Yeah, a little bathroom together.
You know, whenever girls all used to go to the bathroom together. This is what we do.
So we're gonna come back. So today is Friday, so we're gonna come back on Monday. Probably could on Sunday technically, but we're gonna come back on Monday and we're gonna start the top coating process. So because we have the new water resistant top coat, that's how we're able to paint down in the sink now. And we're gonna do 3 coats, 3 hours apart. And then your sink's gonna be out of commission for 3 days. So remember, 3, 3, 3.
Now you can layer this on here. You can also stipple it and make it a little heavier if you'd like also. Just up to you. Now you're going to let all this get good and nice and tight down to the sink before you're going to put that top coat on, because you want these to get stable. You want the moisture to kind of come out of them. And that's going to really make it bond and get tight down to your sink. Same thing. We're going to work in a little circle. Leave those little circles in there a little bit too. I like that little texture that it gives. You don't want lines. That's one thing you don't want. You don't want straight lines. You want circular if you do anything.
And you guys will notice this pattern is very subtle. So if you're looking at it on vertical, it's almost impossible to see. But if you'll turn your camera horizontal, you can see it. But it's a subtle pattern. That's what Carrara marble is. It's not It's not a heavy pattern kind of stone like granite, so very, very subtle.
And that's what she wanted, so just so you know, we're
Yep.
not making it up as we go.
Yep. Mary Jo, the cabinet itself, the vanity itself is painted with London, I believe.
Speaking of, she's painted everything in her house with our
Yes.
products. This is our showroom here in this side.
In Cox's Creek.
She's painted cabinets, countertops in her kitchen. I thought they were Formica. She painted them in Cathedral, and they looked, I didn't even dream they were painted. Didn't even enter my mind that they were painted, actually. Okay, so now that you have that on, and
So, Paula, we got some questions from Tina. She's asking, how do you clean the sink after it's been top coated?
Non-abrasive household cleaners is how you're going to continue to clean, meaning you can clean it with any of your bleach products. You just don't want to scrub the pattern off, meaning you don't want to scrub off the clear coat. And you might want to, through the years, if you see that you think that you're getting some of areas that might look like they need some more, you can always go back and add more top coat to your piece. So just know that too, because time is going to wear through your
as you're using these
coating.
harsh bathroom cleaners.
Right.
So when she says something non-abrasive, so we're talking something like
Ajax.
Ajax, yep, that's what I was
things
thinking.
that have grit to them. You
Yep.
don't want to put something gritty in here. But does that not look real? Am I crazy? So let's go through and we're going to
remove
put
a little bit right here. You got something a little heavy.
Oh, sorry.
There you go.
All right, so we're going to put through. We're going to use the faux pas one more time. We're going to put on some
A little heavy vein.
I'm going to take this and just put on some of. Hold that one for me. Glad you can hold all this.
I know.
I'm going to go right down the center.
Well, I'm
here.
literally sitting on a toilet, just
She
in
is.
case you guys are wondering.
Never wonder here how romantic this job is. So there you go. We're going to use the white antiquing. We're just going to lay some of that right on here. That's just going to give us just one more little lift to this design.
One more little pop of
softening to it. And
Mary Jo says her mind is just blown here.
This little thing makes it possible, Mary Jo, because I'm telling you.
You don't
I
have to
wouldn't
be an
attempted
artist here. Yeah.
I wouldn't have attempted it otherwise, I'm going to think probably.
It's hard to do a marble pattern by
It looks
hand.
so easy,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
Until you start trying to do it.
Yeah. We think, oh, I'm going to get this feather, and it's going to be, I see them do it on Pinterest with the feather. It's so easy.
It ain't easy, I'm telling you.
We tried it. It's not easy.
Now I've got a little spot, just want to show you that right here where we've lifted the top, where we've started this project and tried to get in here too early. But all you're going to do is touch that up, and then when all this dries down really nicely, we're going to put the top coat on here, and it's all going to
So
be
what
nice
she's
and
meaning is we
firm.
just brushed between our base coat.
To get back to you, so we can get out of Kathy's hair here before midnight tonight.
Yeah. So, and that's it though. You guys saw us literally, what, an hour ago or so here. We put this base coat on and all we had is one little spot lift.
And that's just because we got so much on here
Yeah.
at one time,
Right.
letting it dry between coats. And you want to do that, let yours dry well before you start doing too much wiggling around here.
Yeah.
Because you're re-wetting that paint when you're doing these type things, especially the antiquing.
All right, so a couple questions coming in here.
Give me that dry roller.
So, Dee wants to know, if you go back a couple years later and you're going to add another coat of top coat, do you need to degauss again?
No, I wouldn't. Degaussing is really paying off for you whenever you first put this on. So it's almost like saying going to degauss furniture after you've already gotten it painted. Really, the deglosser is serving for your first coat going on. That's going to remove things, but you definitely, if you've got soap buildup and things like that, you want to be sure and get that off. But degaussing would probably injure your sink. I wouldn't do that. Wouldn't mess my pattern up for it. So.
And Monica wants to know, do you think soft scrub would be too gritty for a cleaner?
Soft scrub is not gritty at all. It is not. So y'all see the white that we put in here? Just some more of the soft white that we went with this white antiquing gel, just to give it just a little soften and a little bit more of a brighter white coming out here.
Love it.
I think it's looking quite great. Lots of moving parts still.
So Dana wants to know, why do we need to wait 3 days?
Moisture. You want the moisture out. That's like what you're seeing here where there's still moisture in the paint. When you're adding something over, a top coat over something, that's going to re-wet the paint. So you got to make sure that moisture is gone and wicked out of that paint so it'll harden. Cure is all about hardening, and that is all about moisture. Paint is mainly water, and what leaves behind on the surface is actually the paint itself. So moisture has to come out before you're trying to seal something permanently inside. If you seal moisture into paint, you will see bubbles and problems and so on. If you've ever done that before, you know. So don't seal moisture in paint. Don't get too ahead of yourself here, and don't let the paint dry. You must let the paint dry before you put this sealer top coat over this, because it will be a major problem down the road. So
and
don't rush this.
And the 3 days is 3 days after you put on your final coat of top coat to return to use, meaning before you run water in the sink.
Tub, sink, whatever.
Yeah.
You don't want to hurry that along either. You don't want to go all this hard work and then you go in there and get in the tub too quick or start soaking in it. You want to make sure you allow this to thoroughly get firm. So there you go. That's it in a nutshell. And we're done.
And it looks great.
All right, anywhere you feel like you want to add something, I'm going to add something right here. Don't have anything going on right here on this side, even a little white. I'm going to add much.
So someone was asking, is this white over white? So let's talk about the colors that we use, because they may not have seen the beginning.
Coliseum is our base coat here.
Which is a gray white.
It's a grayed white. That's what this overall sink is. And then we're using our antiquing gel, and the antiquing gel is whiter, so it's looking more alive once you put that on. But the cobblestone is a soft gray, and we use the tintable antiquing gel to make it more translucent. So we didn't put it on here full strength, basically. That's what that amounts to, so we could get it kind of a wash with it just a bit. And
so Michelle wants to know, is the top coat going to keep it from scratching and chipping?
The top coat does keep it from scratching and chipping and coming off when it's wet. So that's what the top coat does.
But the paint in general is extremely durable, and
Yes,
it's going to keep it from chipping and scratching as well. The top coat, like she said, is what makes it extremely water resistant in standing water. The paint itself is also water resistant, but to do inside the sink, you need that coating to keep it water resistant in standing water.
Right, so it's not soaking down into the actual paint itself.
Oh, this is a great question. So Melissa's asking, because I know like my mother has this problem. She has one of those ceramic, I think it's ceramic, white sinks, and they get stained horribly all the time. Like spaghetti sauce, everything stains. Those white sinks. Yeah. Can you use this to fix that? Sure. Enamel. Yep. They're like enamel, white enamel.
Iron. It's a cast iron kitchen sink.
Yeah,
I guess. They get stains down in them into the porcelain.
Right. Porcelain, porcelain.
There if you have dentures, you know how they get stained. With food and coffee and so on, the same thing. They're very porous.
So can we paint those too?
You can paint those too.
Perfect.
You need that right? Sure. I brought my brush. All right.
Cleaning up behind you here.
I know you do. Clean mess always.
So Melissa, yes, you could absolutely do this to fix that stained sink.
So I'm just softening right on up here. I don't want this to be too bouncy.
So cure time.
Cure time for the overall project?
Yes.
Or for
So Julie's asking about 30 days, the typical 30-day cure time.
The typical 30-day cure time is going to apply for the paint for overall, but because you're sealing it now, you're not going to have to wait that 30 days before you use it, because we give you a product in the top coat sealer. It's very strong to keep that from getting any moisture to it, so re-wetting the paint.
So again, still, you're always going to baby everything for 30 days. We're always going to tell you that. Baby it for 30 days.
Anytime you can, take care of it. And if you had it on your kitchen countertop, if you got a spill on it, wipe it off. Give it time to really harden. The longer you do, the better it's going to perform.
Christy, we will come back and do some tighter views of this, absolutely.
I'm just softening it up, guys. I don't want it to be too poppy. It's, with Carrara, it isn't.
Yeah.
Keep on adding till you like it. I'm just putting my own personal spin on this, making sure I like it, because this is for somebody's house. I want her to love it.
Wendy, you can absolutely do the inside of your tub now that we have the water resistant sealer, so same process here. And we're going to come back and do the sealer on Monday with you guys. Carol wants to know, can you do stainless steel sinks?
Stainless steel, you can, but you need to etch that sink, and stainless doesn't like to be painted. It's like aluminum. It just doesn't like to be coated, so you can, but you're asking it to do a lot there, but I'd have to see it. I would hesitate. I always hesitate to paint aluminum windows and that kind of thing, because it's not meant to be painted. It's meant to be a long-lasting surface on its own, so I don't think it's a no, but I've never tried it. Never tried it. It's non-porous, steel. It's a piece of steel. These surfaces can get some bite, but stainless steel isn't meant to. So I'm just being honest with you there. I don't think it's something I would try. I would scour that sink and make it work.
How do we think the top coat will hold up with hard water?
I don't see any problems with it with hard water.
Yeah.
I mean, hard water.
It's a pretty durable, very durable coating.
Yes, it is, and I don't think you're going to have any problems with hard water.
No.
Okay.
Usually what I find with hard water is it just requires a little more cleaning. More than anything. More than it hurts a coating, it just requires more cleaning.
Yeah, it's going to deposit. It's going to deposit that lime buildup.
That lovely pink coating. Oh, where I live, we got that hard water. It's super fun, yeah.
Well, it's pretty prevalent everywhere, I believe.
No, in the country especially. Jennifer says she can't wait to paint her beige tub and shower now.
I can't wait to see it. So many people have already started working on their projects. Can't wait to see all yours. And we're going to finish up here and get out of here so Kathy can enjoy her weekend. And we thank you guys so much for being here. If you have questions, post them. Check out the bundle if you want to get everything here that we've shown you tonight, 50% off. You can do that by visiting our website at allinOnePaint.com and get your products so you can get yours started today. And if you have questions, again, ask them right here in the timeline or check out our free sample offer if you're new to our paint products. And you can do that by visiting that website. So we'll see you guys soon. Have a great weekend. Bye.
Bye.